What is going on, Zobadiah? And today we are back with another episode of Music or Hideout, the show where we hang out with artists, musicians, and entertainers in Waylon Jennings' old basement studio. As always, I am gathered here with Ryan Poole, co-host. Maybe. As always, I am gathered here with Ryan Poole, the co-host, who I'll pass it to introduce the guest.
You could stall for time. I'm just trying to make sure the audio is coming through.
I did stall for time. I'll give you like 8
When
seconds.
you started calling me in, I'm like, I don't even know if we have audio right now.
Hopefully
Maybe
we
they
do.
can't even hear us.
Someone will let us know.
That's true. Tonight on a very special episode of Music Row Hideout, we have
Wow,
Hannah
very special
Holbrook.
episode.
Wow.
Hannah is a composer, a pianist. She is a world traveler. She is in a band with all of her sisters. Is it all of them in the band?
Most of the sisters. There's one who's not in the band.
Of the sisters, except for the bad child. Right?
Oh, I'll tell you about her.
Ooh, all right.
They have a group called SHEL, and they're a folk group. Would you classify yourself as folk?
We're alternative, but we're really art pop.
Art pop. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Cool.
And Hannah has composed for film. She's done a bunch of things, and we're going to get into all of that tonight. But, Hannah, what are we drinking tonight?
All right, we're going to be drinking some old fashions with some kind of syrup.
Oh, yeah, we gotta get the
You
syrup.
get the syrup, so yeah. It's either that or the pink artificial sweeteners.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so we're trying to make old
I
fashions.
don't
We are
like pink,
unprepared.
but I really can't do blue. Blue just tastes bad and is bad for you.
See, I use the pink for iced tea.
Evan
'Cause
Williams.
that's what my grandma did. Yeah, have you ever had it?
No, I usually do bullet. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I like Bullet a lot. This is just like my go-to. If I'm going to mix anything in it, this is my go-to.
Okay. Sweet. I'm down.
Which, there are cups, not
Excellent.
old-fashioned glasses.
pouring them all in
We
the
have
syrup.
ice,
Okay. Thank you.
and he's going to get the syrup.
So we have pecan,
Oh,
hazelnut, and honey.
Oh, honey can work.
Wow.
Honey can work.
how did
yeah.
it totally work?
It's just earth sugar
Yeah.
in the form of
Yeah.
a bear.
It's just bee barf.
I'll do some, yeah, just
Bee barf?
classic
Oh,
bee
barf.
barf.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Uh,
So Hannah, while we make our old fashions, how did you get into music?
So, my dad's a singer-songwriter, and I grew up hearing him play guitar. And when I was 5, I heard piano music somewhere, and I just knew I was going to be a pianist. But we didn't even have
At
a piano.
5?
Yeah,
all right.
it's like that's what I'm going to do.
Early.
Yeah, we didn't have a piano yet. And then when I was 10, we had a piano, and there are 6 kids in my family, so things were a little tight. But my grandma offered to pay for lessons when I turned 10, and I was like, yes, I'm
Any
playing.
boys or all girls?
There's one boy
There's one boy. Is he
and
the one
5
not in the
girls. Yeah, he's not in the band,
band? And one of the girls.
yeah. So
They
let
should
me.
start a duo.
They're both married and they have kids and they're doing their own thing. But my older sister Margot actually went to Cornell and got a full ride scholarship there and got her PhD in plant pathology. So she's like really smart, really hardworking, really different than the rest of us.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying when I didn't mean that to be so hard on the rest of us, but no, she's.
She's out there with a real job.
I know.
Not like us schlubs out here in the music business.
Yeah, she got into biology.
Now that's the hazelnut syrup,
Oh wait,
which is fine. But
think
we also
that's
have
gonna be-
pecan and honey.
I think that's gonna be good.
I'm no
I did the hazel. I tried the honey, but it was so thick, and I realized when honey is cold, it gets hard.
Uh-huh.
And this is a cold drink, not like coffee where it would melt.
I see.
So I did a little honey, but then I gave up because it was a pain in the
I'll just
ass.
honey the ice.
Just honey, yeah, make it a nice sweet ice. Classic sweet ice. So,
Well, this is delightful.
That's actually pretty good.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it smells like whiskey.
Bitters. You're supposed to. I was supposed to do this first. I did it all wrong.
I'm sure it's fine. These are definitely ghetto old fashions, so it's okay.
These are studio find old fashions.
Yeah.
Can you pass the ice and the bitters?
Yes.
The owl of
Thank
ice.
you.
The owl of ice.
Owl of
I don't know
ice.
that we've really talked about the owl of ice on the show.
We
I think
mention it a
just
lot.
Talk about it beforehand to the guests. Yeah, we have
Yeah.
an owl of ice.
Yeah, it's a prop from the TV show Nashville.
What?
Yeah.
How'd you
was on
get
there.
it?
When the show closed down, they like turned the entire warehouse where they shoot it became like a yard sale for all of the props.
That's
So
brilliant.
I had a friend that went and she bought it for us.
Brilliant.
So we ended up with the owl of ice, which is we use every week now.
I like it.
She had no idea we'd find it so useful. But anyways,
That's good, guys.
yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Cheers.
Celebrate. Yeah, there's just everybody imagine there's an amazing clinking sound going on
Clink.
right now.
Yeah, I keep telling almost every week after the show. I think we just need to get some glasses with our logo on them.
Yeah.
It's not that expensive.
It would be good. If we gave every guest one,
All right.
We'd be
The show's budget is low. All right. We have a low budget show. All right? We're working on it.
It'd be a really great gift.
Let's get some sponsors
would
first.
be.
All
Write
right?
our name.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway,
like
so
it.
you are 5. You have not now,
She's a little
now,
older than 5.
and you decided you were going to
I
be
know I'm not
a.
supposed to guess a lady's age, but for the
A
people
pianist.
for the people on the podcast, when you can't see, she's older than 5.
Yeah, I'm a little bit older than 5. Just a little.
But when you were 5,
When I was
so
5.
that's when you decided piano. That's your jam.
Yes.
And so did you start taking lessons? You started just learning. Did you?
So yeah,
Where'd you go from there?
What happened? I guess I kind of just.
I mean, you were 5. You might not even remember. that
No, I
much.
just I really wanted to play. And then when I was 10, we had a pianist. We had a piano, and then my grandmother offered to pay for lessons for me.
nice.
So, yeah.
And ever since then, you've just been going away.
Yeah.
The which actually we should, because we always forget to do this in the beginning. We should start with a song, so that way people know what you sound like. Right, Ryan?
Absolutely.
I'd like your input on this right now, right at this very exact moment.
Absolutely, we should.
So
For the
we'll
podcast listeners, I have an entire sandwich in my mouth.
yeah, for those who can't see it.
Perfect timing.
So if you're fine with it, we'll start with a song so people know what you sound like. So we can
Yeah.
give them your links and everything so they can find you.
Okay, we'll start with an instrumental.
Okay.
Okay.
What's it called?
This is called The Altruist, and yeah, I wrote it. I finished composing it last year.
Okay.
After I had been spending a lot of time at different people's houses playing their pianos and
Nice.
just hearing their stories. And this one's particularly about a woman named Jan who lives in Boulder, and she's just such an awesome woman, and she's always helping other people. So she inspired some of the themes in this.
He says the altruist.
Yes.
Right. Okay. And then Ryan should have you ready whenever you are ready.
Good go, Ryan? Cool. Okay.
Stay over there, yeah. Okay, so now, do you have that recorded somewhere if people want to find it?
I do. It's on SoundCloud.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do they just type your name in?
Yeah, just type in Hannah Holbrook,
Okay.
the Altruist. You should be able to find it.
Okay. And since we're on where you are, where else can people find you? Find you on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok.
Yeah, you could totally find me, especially Instagram and Facebook. I'm on all the things, but look up Hannah Holbrook or Hannah on the keys, and that's Hannah spelled Hannah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything okay there? You're fixing shit? Okay.
Getting it ready.
Okay, so so you said that was about someone in Boulder. Jane, you said?
Her name's Jan.
Jan.
Yes.
Okay. That's twice now I've messed up names today.
That's all right.
But okay, so how do you know Jan? Or did you live out there?
So I'm from Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah, I grew up in Fort Collins, north of Denver, and
We know a guy who lives there.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wait, who? Who lives in Fort
Big
Collins?
supporter of.
Yeah, a big supporter of the stream. Name's Aaron. Shout out Aaron.
Hey,
I
Aaron.
think he lives in Fort Collins. It's right outside of Denver.
Not
Yeah.
anymore, now he lives in Denver.
Oh yeah, no, he lives
okay.
in Germany.
Germany.
Yeah.
Oh.
But he's coming back. He's coming back.
Similar.
That's
to
awesome.
Denver. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, I wish that I were in here after the performance ended, but I have to run in from the other room. I just as you let the final chorus sustain, I just wanted to say, and everybody was here to witness the moment I quit piano.
No, Ryan.
And we're done.
That's the opposite of why I play music. So please keep playing.
Okay, thank you. I will.
Good.
I'll find the will to carry.
No,
on.
we're shutting down the studio
Damn.
tonight. This is it.
But damn. And we have the camera set up so people watching can see. You see all the hammers moving.
Cool.
On the camera.
Yeah, that's
And I
cool.
started getting all in my brain about things, and I was like, all you're doing as a pianist, we're so used to seeing the keys. That's familiar to us.
Mm-hmm.
The hammers, not so much. And when I see the hammers, I'm just thinking, this is a human being controlling this many hammers, hitting strings all at one time, all over the place with interesting patterns. I'm like, it's kind of nuts to watch.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy to think about. Like, you think about it in other
Watching
terms.
really freaking fast.
If it was like a dude named
Percival.
George,
Okay.
who had a bunch of hammers out there and things to hit make noise, there's no way he could keep up with that shit. Picking up hammers.
Yeah.
Nope, we had to create the keyboard so you could play that many hammers at one time.
Yeah.
All it says is a hammer
Hammer and strings.
maximization machine. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hammer maximization machine.
Yeah.
That's definitely the title of the episode.
So where did you learn the hammer maximization machine? Very Gilded Age of title. That's what they would have called it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Classic HMM.
Yeah.
The hammer maximization. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so you were in Colorado. Mm-hmm. How'd you get to Nashville? I mean, drove, fly. No.
Yeah. Okay, so the first time I came to Nashville, I think I was 21, and my sisters and I had been touring. Yeah, so 4 of us are in the band together. I'm the oldest of the 4 of us. Then the other 2 are married, have kids. So the 4 of us younger ones were touring with our parents in the Midwest. Our dad being a singer-songwriter. Mm-hmm. When we all started playing music, he started backing us up on bass and guitar. And our mom had been working for Hewlett-Packard, and she, left her job and went on the road with us. And just touring around as a family. We were playing this gelato shop called Honker Beans in the middle of Missouri.
Honker Beans. Classic Honker Beans. Okay.
It was a coffee shop and a gelato shop. And we had 2 people in the audience there. We usually played churches, so there was more of usually a congregation, but we picked up a coffee shop gig, and I think I was...
All your morals went out the window right away.
I must have been 20 at this point, so I was in...
Whispering among the church, just you hear they're playing at a secular coffee shop.
Honker Beans, nonetheless.
Yeah. They serve gelato there. That's
The ice cream of the devil.
Oh, yeah. That's why there were only 2 people there. Heathens. No, I'm
Sorry,
just
in my
kidding.
head, this is very you were touring in the 60s, but you're not that old. We
Right.
can peg you. She...
The 60s?
No, it doesn't feel like that would be the 60s. The 1960s. Although maybe it was the Midwest in the 2000s. I don't know.
Yeah. Honker
Maybe.
Beans.
They're a little behind in the times.
Yeah.
By several decades, maybe. I don't know about that much, but... We just
man.
insulted all the Midwest.
Yeah.
Sorry, the
Midwest.
Midwest.
I love the Midwest.
I don't mean it. I mean it just a little
Do
bit.
you consider Denver the Midwest?
That's a good question. I was just pondering that. It's really the West. We just call it the West, but
That's what I think too.
Is it?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not really Midwest.
It's not Midwest.
But it's not on the coast.
It's a very west. But it's like the eastest the West Coast goes.
Okay.
But there's a big gap in the middle there. Like,
Yeah,
there's
because
a-
isn't it more? Isn't it? But wait a minute, isn't it
Colorado's very
more?
California.
We talk about geography a lot on this show.
We really
Have you
do.
noticed that?
It is the geography.
We are the
podcast.
geography
We should
podcast.
have
Yeah.
a map in here. Then we
We
can kind of like.
should get a
Right.
map.
Right there on
Yes.
the doors. Then-
Can you just
Yes.
digitally put a map here right now? Like not right now, in post.
maybe.
In post.
I'm staring at.
Okay, so we'll do it like this. So Denver's right here,
Okay.
and that means that Utah is here,
No.
up. It's north,
Yeah.
but
You really
Utah's
need a
more west than Colorado.
Yes.
But I don't consider Utah the west
It's pretty.
in my
big.
mind.
Yeah, that's because we're from San Diego.
Yeah, we're real
right.
west. We're as
So
west
Utah-
as you can go.
Utah's east to you, but it's the west. I mean, if
Okay.
you drive across the country going from east
I
to
guess
west,
it is the west.
you'll see how the landscape changes. It happens right at Denver, basically.
Yeah, and it's probably the mountains that makes it west
Yes.
because a lot of the Midwest is
Yeah,
flat.
that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm sure that is literally what it is, because that's how
You're probably
everything
right.
used to be decided. They're like,
Yeah.
there's
Giant
like mountains
landmarks.
or
Yeah.
oceans.
It's just like I like to tell people that we're from San Diego, which is technically more south than Tennessee.
It's true. We're from the real.
And so I tell people we're from the real south.
Oh,
Hashtag real south.
that's amazing.
But anyways,
You guys from Colorado. You're playing at Honker Beans.
Yes.
By the way, this is not weird.
This is
just
what-
Trust me, this is not weird, okay?
I promise we're so normal.
Just made it weird.
I don't think I did it.
No, I think it's just important that you're not like, oh, am I screwing up the show?
No.
Oh, no. He filled me in beforehand.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing perfect. Yeah, you keep trying to tell your story, and
We'll keep ruining it.
That's what this show is.
Oh God, it sounds so bad when you say it like that.
No, it's making it more entertaining. It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like your story's probably more interesting than our diversion.
Than our nonsense.
But that's fine. We have to stretch it out to an hour and a half somehow.
I wondered about that. I was like, man, most of the podcasts I listen to are like 15 to 30 minutes, but 2 hours, huh?
Yeah,
2 hours.
We had a 5.5 hour episode.
Dang, you guys.
See this show, think of it like as if the podcast were happening, right? Your normal podcast, but then there was two guys cracking jokes while they were trying to do the podcast. And they
Right.
had to keep stopping to like laugh and talk and
And
whatever.
then we don't
that.
edit anything out at all.
And Ira
Right.
Glass is just like, okay, anyway, so
Ira Glass.
Dolores
We should get Ira on the show.
34. Do you know who that is?
Ira
Dolores
Glass.
He's
The best podcaster of our age.
Oh, okay.
This American Life.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
have
he's the
heard
host of
that.
This American
Yeah,
Life.
he's like one of the main hosts, but he anyways, my impression won't work. So anyway, back to you. So you're playing at Honker Beans.
Yes.
Only two people.
in the
Two people are in
Midwest.
the audience, but the right two people. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
So one of them knew a radio DJ who was in Colorado.
Oh, you mean the right two people, like the right two people.
Yeah.
Got
So
it.
he's like, I'm going to connect you with this DJ. The DJ's name was John St. John. And he came to a party that we were having. And then he was like, I know a producer from Nashville who comes to Colorado all the time. I'll connect you. So he and this producer show up at our house. And my sisters and I had a rehearsal space in our parents' living room. And we played them a couple songs. And they were like, cool. All right, we're going to go now. So they left. And then we Googled the producer after they left. His name's Brent Mayer. And he's produced the Dixie Chicks. He discovered the Judds. Yeah, kind of legendary.
Okay.
And so
yeah.
we were freaking out, like, this guy was in our house, you know?
Right. He just has just some guy so as his producer.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he left, and then the next day he called our dad and said, I'd really like to work with you all. So,
That's crazy.
yeah, so he and his family started inviting us to come to Nashville and record, and we have a couple albums out. SHEL does, SHEL. It's on Spotify and iTunes and just, all the things. But we've produced a couple albums with him, and that's how we got acquainted with Nashville. And that was like 10 years ago when that first started. And so then 3 years ago, 3 years ago,
Die Suist Kirche.
I haven't even drank this thing yet. 3 years ago, my sisters and I decided to move here. So we've been bopping around.
Did you move because of the touring, like central location kind of thing?
Yeah, and having access to a studio through Brent, and his daughter Diana has done publishing for us. And so we were just working with them a lot and meeting a lot more people, expanding our team. Everybody was in Nashville that we were working with, so we thought it'd be good to be here so we could do more meetings and make more music. So
As it's like the central music location now. Is it like the central, or is LA still?
Well,
I don't know.
LA's probably bigger,
Different.
still bigger
Yeah.
in volume.
Sure.
Nashville's just like currently more popular and exciting, and it's more branded and more centralized
Yeah.
for music. LA just has a harder time defining its identity because there's
It's
so
just
many
entertainment.
well, yeah, and business,
yeah.
and fashion.
Yeah. It's a hot pile of garbage.
LA,
I'm not a
I
fan
love
of
LA.
Do you? Have
Yeah.
you spent a lot of time there?
Yeah. I mean, not as much as Nashville, but I go there kind of quarterly.
I gotta tell you,
Oh, wow.
everybody who's not from LA loves LA,
Man, but
except
But
other Californians.
yeah, people other people in California are like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you've heard the LA? Oh yeah, that place that should just be burned to the ground because it's the worst place on earth. I hate LA.
Yeah, I went to a paper shop before to get some cards before I was just in LA last week actually. And on my way, anyway, at this paper shop, this guy was like, just another day living the dream in LA. And I was like and I was like,
A lot of
That's
LA
about right.
people dislike LA too.
Yeah, because it's
but
a
I asked
nightmare.
him, if you don't like it here, why are you still here? And he said, because it's California. You just can't leave. Like, you hate it and you just stay anyway.
Yeah.
But so much of
Yeah,
California is so good though.
It's part of the ethos. It's hard to describe.
Yeah, like all the way
Also,
up the
if you-
coast, San Diego to Santa Barbara is
Yes.
wonderful.
No, it's like
Yeah.
if you're in LA for a reason, like one of the industries, then
You gotta.
it's
You just
like,
gotta.
Yeah, there's not going to be anywhere else. Everybody gets bogged down by the traffic and stuff.
at least
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
snow.
fair.
But they obviously like something about it, or they wouldn't stay.
Yeah, I love it. I think the people there are amazing, and I didn't expect to find
first-
You're
that.
the only person
Yeah.
to have ever said that
No,
in the
I have-
history of the universe.
I have a lot of really close friends who live there, actually. So,
And they're good people.
yeah, they're awesome. There are some great churches there. I mean, Sean Bowles, Expression 58, like, that's kind of a... I mean, I was there on Sunday before I came back here, and it was so good. And I actually connected with some people there. And I could live there. I could be part of that community. I love those folks.
Yeah, the Dream Center is in LA, right?
Yeah.
The big one? They were trying to buy the Art Institute before it closed.
Really?
Yeah, when I was working there, they were trying to buy it,
Wow.
and then I guess it didn't go through because the Art Institute closed.
Wow.
Yeah, completely unrelated.
But I mean, you got all this great stuff happening in LA with music and film scoring is where I want to be. Like, that's my ultimate goal. I think that's why it's on my radar so much. But then also you can, I drove up to Redding while I was there too. And I stopped in San Francisco, had a great time. Went to Bethel up in Redding, had a great time there. And I've been to the Redwoods up in Eureka, and I've been to San Diego. I just love California. And I was born in Bakersfield.
Oh, really?
So I just have this
Got a little
love-
connection.
Yeah, I just have this special spot in my heart for California.
So you're practically born in LA.
Practically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go with that.
Well, like how we were.
Sure. Yeah. I guess.
Maybe it's a similar distance.
Is it that far? It doesn't matter.
The thing is, we love California too.
I love California.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, California's
okay.
amazing.
Oh, yeah, we
I
love
just
California.
don't like LA.
He hates LA,
And I'm not a huge fan of San Francisco. It's fine.
and I don't know what to say. I almost moved to LA, but I didn't. I moved here instead. There's always been a draw to LA, but also some very noticeable downsides. But I believe I really think I'll wind up there one day, but I really believe like LA would be an amazing place to move to if you have money already.
Yeah, that's
and if
fair.
you're kind of already established. And I think if you had to go be broke there and try to
Yeah,
make
if you're
it-
already established, I'm sure it's a great place. But if you're not, you're just one person amongst the pile of people trying to be something.
it's a hard.
It's a
it would be
sad,
hard-
depressing place.
A hard place. To
Sorry,
go
I'll try not to hate on LA as much, but I don't like it.
A hard place to try to go make it when you're like surrounded by people trying to make it. I mean, that's the vibe. That's the general LA upstart thing. Is like everybody's just trying to make it. Everyone you know is an actor or a musician or something, and they're
Which is kind of similar to how it
I
is
was like,
here.
is that different?
no, it is though.
But it's the people act different. It's here. It's like
Correct.
friendly and like cooperative.
It's a lot more
Corroborating?
collaborative here. Yeah,
I don't know. Like everyone here is so nice and friendly and great. Not everybody. Most people. Most people I meet are great here.
Yeah, the
Fair
community here is incredible. It would be hard to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I love about
I
here.
think those communities in LA, they exist. It's all like spread out amongst the city. But I said I've never really worked in the industry in LA. Like I just know from like my teachers coming up, like they were all LA people, and so I kind of got the lay of the land, and I went there a few times to look, and then I came to Nashville and saw it. And what I've been told and from understand what makes sense just traveling to LA is like if something studios will be hours away because of the traffic.
Yeah.
And so it's just not like here where it's like we could drive down the street in 3 minutes to a studio. In fact, I had an experience here at this very studio a couple weeks ago where like some random dude stopped by to visit one of the guys who rents a room for me, and one of them was like, "Hey, tell me you have Vocaline," which is this software program for editing vocals. And I was like, "Yeah, I do." And he was like, "We're at the Sound Emporium. Could you come down the street and help us?" And for those who don't know, the Sound Emporium's like one of Nashville's most working studios, I'd say, like one of the most popular studios. It's like they've always got it going with people there. I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I drove, and all of a sudden I'm at the Sound Emporium and seeing a bunch of people there, and then like helping them and teaching a guy how to use the software, and encountering all these different people, and and a bunch of them I had met before from other things, and like one of their people comes here and tunes my piano, which you're benefiting from tonight.
Yes. Thanks,
I
dude.
don't know, like it's like random things. That's like my little like for instance from a few weeks ago, but like that people always talk about that with Nashville. It's just like you run into people and these connections happen, and all of a sudden you're working. Oh, and I got a job from that. In fact, I've worked with the guy twice now. The guy I went and helped that night decided like, oh, thanks for helping me. I'll come try you out now. So I kind of
That's cool.
got business out of it. But that's like very.
But that's how Nashville is.
That's Nashville.
Yes.
In LA, they'd be like, "Oh, do you have this thing to help me out?" And you'd be like, "No, you go fuck yourself." Like that's the LA vibe.
Pop, pop.
You shoot him a couple times, and it's what it is. So you have a choice to make
You
Nashville
have a very
LA.
gritty '90s LA in your mind still.
Well, have you seen the movie? Well, I guess I mean, this is a random movie. Mid '90s.
It's called mid-90s?
It's called mid
Not
'90s.
seen
Jonah
it.
Hill directed it.
It's listed on Amazon Prime as a comedy.
Okay.
It is not a comedy.
Is it too close to reality?
It's just depressing.
Oh, no.
It's
very
like
realistic.
it's like skater ghetto culture in LA in the '90s. It just
And a
looked so
little
good.
kid
If you have
getting
any,
introduced to it, like getting introduced
Yeah.
to drugs, getting introduced to like getting crazy drunk and going to parties, and
It was
like
gnarly.
his brother who beats him, and
it's a whole thing. But
Yeah.
anyways, I
Dang.
don't know if you have '90s nostalgia.
I do. I love the music from the 90s.
Yes.
Goo Goo Dolls forever.
Forever.
oh yeah. So they'll be playing in heaven.
Oh, yes.
And I don't want
The world's to see me.
But if you're looking for a movie to see and you see that, like, oh man, it's about the '90s. That's gonna be great. It's not. Don't watch it. It hurts.
Yeah.
Okay, got
And
it.
it was all advertised as like nostalgic '90s pieces.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
now
and
that
then
we
it's
get
listed
our
as a
throwback
comedy.
pieces
There's
from
like
the 90s.
one joke in the whole movie. Not funny.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just happened to take place in the '90s. That was
Anyways,
it.
it was well done. It was a good movie. Not trying to insult Jonah Hill because it was a good movie. It's just I expected '90s comedy, and I
Yeah.
got depressing.
It was so depressing.
Sad.
So you guys moved here. So you guys and Brett, I was just talking to somebody about Brett Manning yesterday. That's not who this is.
Brent Mayer.
Brent Mayer.
Yes.
Yeah, do you know who Brett Manning is? He's like a vocal coach.
Oh.
I was talking to, he has this
Yeah.
singing star or something like that.
Yes.
But anyway, I was talking to some people about him last night. Brent Mayer.
Yes,
Like
you got it.
John's brother. Brent.
Yeah. Or his father or grandfather.
Okay. And so he started working with you guys, and what was that like? Like, what was that like being kids from the border of the Midwest, where the Midwest meets the West?
Yes. Yeah, I like that.
Colorado's
It's
new
not
slogan.
Where the Midwest meets the West.
The normal West.
Proper West.
The
Proper.
regular
meets
West.
nicer west.
The
Anyway,
farther west.
I've heard Colorado's real nice though.
Oh,
that's
I've never
where
been there.
Colorado. Oh, Colorado's amazing because
Oh,
that's
okay,
where the
gotcha.
Midwest meets. the
Gotcha.
West.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I miss it sometimes.
40 minutes east of Denver becomes Kansas,
Yeah, it's true.
which is the black hole of America.
Just keep driving west.
Wow.
Just keep driving.
Just keep driving. You get past Lyman and you start getting into Denver and you start seeing mountains on the horizon and you're like, after 20 hours of cornfields, you're like, mountains, Gandalf. It's amazing. It's the best.
Oh man.
So you guys were from where the Midwest meets the West,
Yes.
as we all know, and then all of a sudden you're how old when you met Brent?
I think I was 20 or 21, and Liza maybe was 18. She's the youngest.
Okay, I was picturing.
Oh, so you guys are all close,
I was
really close
picturing
in
this
age.
slightly more Partridge Family where you're like 4. Oh, sorry, not 4. That's way too young. But preteen or whatever.
She didn't even decide she wanted to play piano until she was 5.
That's true.
Super
You're
late.
way behind. Way behind. Okay, so but at 20, so like all of a sudden you guys come out to Nashville and you're working with this guy. Like, what was that like coming into this new world?
It was pretty wild for us. Yeah, they started introducing us to all sorts of people, and we signed a record deal with Universal. And
That's a big day.
yeah, then we had Red Light Management. We had William Morris Endeavor doing our booking. Like, we had all these heavy hitters, like,
Wow.
within a year, making all sorts of promises. And
I have a feeling that story goes somewhere.
When you say making all sorts of promises, but it's current tense, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. But when in the past tense, it really seems to suggest about what happened next.
yeah, we'll just say, trying to kind of talk about it. I don't have any hard feelings towards anyone, and neither do my sisters. Like, it ended well, but basically we had a year where it was like, oh, wow, we got the A team, but nothing's happening. And so we made an album, and they didn't do anything with it. And then after a year, we were
Universal did it.
yeah,
Just like sat on it.
yeah. So I think folks in Nashville signed us thinking people in New York were going to do something with us, and the people in New York were like, "You signed them," and so they're like going back and forth, didn't know what to do with us because we are kind of a modge-podge of genres, and we didn't fit in country here, and we weren't quite pop there. So I think they were like, "What do we do with you?" But within a year, we were kind of like, hey guys, I think we're going to take our social media over and we're going to have someone else book us because we were doing more before we signed, oddly enough. And
Wow.
they gave us a really good exit agreement, which I guess is unheard of. And within 6 months, we re-recorded the album and released it with Brent.
Wow.
And
You re-recorded the album?
yeah,
So they wouldn't let you have the masters?
I think we would have had to buy them or something.
Oh.
I don't know. But all I
It
know
was
is...
cheaper to re-record than...
Yeah. All I know is that we had a really good exit agreement. Like, we parted on really good terms. Scott Borchetta signed us. And, if I saw him tomorrow, it would be like, hey, I'd high-five him because, we had a good experience. And it gave us street cred. Like, there were people in Colorado who, like, hardly gave me the time of day that when they heard we had a record deal, were
then
like,
you say I'm
Hannah,
signed by Universal. They're like, whoa.
I didn't know you knew my name. Like,
Oh,
Wow.
Hannah, I heard that you signed with Scott Borchetta.
how did that happen? I don't know. Can you introduce me? No, but yeah. So that was a funny thing, but it gave us street cred, and we did play some higher profile shows because of that, and then met more people in the industry, and it's all part of the process. But we've been indie for quite a while since we left that deal, and that's been really good. That's been...
Was that hard
Right.
at first? Like, I could, because
That's gotta be a hard decision to begin
when I
with.
was younger than I am still young,
Yeah.
and like that was the dream. Like, I never got to that dream, and now I still work with artists, and I work with artists that are doing all sorts of different things at different capacities. But I haven't really worked with artists who had that dream, so I haven't like gone on that ride. But thinking of if I went on that ride and had that, I feel like it'd be a major like letdown to watch that kind of fall apart. Now that sounds like it turned out awesome, and we should get there quickly and not like dwell on the bad part or anything. like because the indie route is, kind of the way to go today anyway.
Yeah.
But was that a hard process? Like, tell me about the process that you went through to get from, yay, heavy hitters, we're on the A team, to, yay, we're indie, this is great.
Yeah.
Like, what was that? The in-between, oh no, Scott Bruschetta is not my friend anymore. By the way, it's not bruschetta. I'm saying it wrong on
It's
purpose.
Borchetta. Okay, I was
I'm
like,
saying it wrong on
oh, you're
purpose.
talking
He's a
about.
little blue-headed, curly guy wears a scarf in the summer.
Yeah, I think he is Italian. His name sounds Italian.
You know how they do. You know those people.
Wow. What did I say about racial slurs, Ryan?
Italians with their curly hair and summer sweaters. Sweaters.
I love Italians. I studied Italian in college, and yeah, it's a beautiful language. Anyway,
We are not racist.
Yeah, wait, what were we talking about?
Welcome to the show. Yeah. I was saying, tell me about the time when it sucked and how you got back to good. Or
yeah.
did it not suck? Maybe it didn't. Like, but the process of going from like label like this, oh my gosh, the stars have aligned, to now being an indie band and loving it. How did you get there?
I think, I have a lot of faith. So, and I know I'm here for a reason. I know I have the gifts that I have for a reason. So when that happened, there was just something in me that was like, it's going to be okay. And there were people around me who were like, I can't believe this. Now what? And like, for some reason, I was just like, I don't know, the next thing, like, it's going to be fine. Like, we have these gifts and these songs for a reason. So if we're supposed to do something with it, we will. And that's just how I've always felt about the music. And I think the band isn't my number one dream either. Like, it's a fun thing. I love playing with my sisters. I love the music we make, but I love playing solo shows too, and I love connecting with people. I love traveling, and I just knew that I would always be doing that no matter what. Like, I always knew I was going to be a pianist. It's just part of why I'm here. So and that's only one thing that I do. That's not my identity. So I think when that stuff happened, it wasn't like, I need these people to make my dreams come true. It was like, music is part of the reason I'm here, so I'm going to be doing it no matter what. And yeah.
Was the shift that instant for you?
Yeah, was it like easy to get to that place? 'Cause that sounds like that's a great place to be. And I feel like most people don't just start there.
Are you that chill that was like the next day, or was there a moment in between?
I think I saw it coming. I think I knew that we were going to leave the label. And so, yeah, I think I was prepared for it in advance. I probably did a little bit of mourning before it happened, being like, darn, I wish this was going to catapult things up to here. The whole way along, I've been wanting to release my own music, and what the band does together, like, it's still very collaborative, but my sister Eva writes most of the music for SHEL, and she sings most of it too. And I sing as well, but for years, the team that we were working with just picked her songs, and everybody agreed with it. We all went along with it for years. And then I got to a point where I was like, guys, I'm writing music for a reason too. Like, I'm supposed to do something with the music I'm writing. And I would tell our team that, and they would kind of try to convince me, don't do that. People will think the band's breaking up. They were like so fearful about it.
Weird.
Yeah, it was very strange. And I got to a point where I was like, you know what? I feel like the parable of the talents, when there's the servant who's just like, he's like, whoa, you gave me this, and this is really valuable, so I'm going to bury it so nothing happens to it. And everyone else is like, wow, you trust me with this. I'm going to go do something with it. And I would feel convicted every time I read that parable, like, so convicted of like, this is wrong. I shouldn't be sitting on this music. I'm supposed to be sharing it. So finally, within the past couple of years, I started being honest about it, being like, guys, I can't keep doing this way. Like, I have to be able to play my music too. So I think when things were kind of falling apart with the label, there was something in me that knew, this isn't the only reason I'm here anyway. Like, God has other plans for my life. And so it didn't bother me. I just knew that you put me here for a reason. You gave me these gifts for a reason. Like, we're going to do something. So.
Well, maybe that's a great transition to play one of your solo songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. Wow.
Yeah. Look at us with the segues.
It's almost like we've done this before. So what song are you doing for us?
All right, this is a song called You Should Let Me Love You.
Okay.
All right. We ready, Ryan? Sweet. You should let me love you underneath that golden moon. Won't you let me hold you? Oh, my darling honeydew, you're everything at once, sweet and dangerous, curious, mysterious, and serious enough. You should let me love you, 'cause darling, I already do. You should let me love you. Tell me what you've got to lose. I'm only thinking of you and sending up a prayer or two. You're everything at once, sweet and dangerous, curious, mysterious, and serious enough. You should let me love you, 'cause darling, I already do. And darling, I already do.
I never know how long to let it ring out for.
I know.
So we'll err on the side of caution. Plus, it gives Ryan a few more seconds to get back in here.
That's true.
Although,
I
sorry, go ahead.
I wanted to say, I'm definitely still doing the band. Like, SHEL is still a thing. So it's
Sure.
it's not like, peace out, y'all, I'm doing my own thing. But it's just that my sisters and I realized that we need to allow each other, not even allow each other, because I don't need anyone's permission to do the things that feed my soul. You know?
That's fair.
You go, girl.
But we lived in such a codependent way for so long that once we started recognizing it, we were like, we are not going to do it this way anymore. And we
Yeah.
decided to just be like, I'm going to support you. Do what makes you feel alive. Like, do what's on your heart. And so now we're at a point where everyone's pursuing, things that matter to them, filling up the well. And then when we get together, we have something life-giving to draw from, so we're not sucking each other dry. So it's been this amazing transition that's happened over the past couple years. And, now I'm writing music with all sorts of different people and traveling around and playing solo shows. And I'm still touring with SHEL. Like, I'm flying to Colorado with them next week. And
Oh, wow.
so yeah, kind of it's what I envisioned from the start, but we just gave up a lot of our authority when we started working with people in the industry. We didn't know our authority, and we
Tell
kind
me
of
about that.
forfeit it. I think when you're a young artist and you have a manager who's older and more experienced than you, or you're working with a label or an A&R person and they're telling you this is what you need to be so that we can market you, so that we can help you. So you need to kind of go this way. And I think if you don't know why you're doing what you do and what you actually want to accomplish, someone else is going to determine your priorities for you. And I think we were young enough and kind of just playing music for the love of it. And because it was what we had done for so long. We'd been, playing together since we were we've been playing together for 15 years. So I guess we'd been playing together for 5 at that point. And we didn't know, we didn't know why. It was just something we had done for so long. We just kept doing it. So now I'm like, we have to know why. We have to have a unified purpose before we bring on someone else who's going to help us make crucial decisions. And we cut ties with our manager at the end of last year, so that we could manage ourselves for a little bit and kind of get our bearings and work on our sisterhood, our sisterly relationship. So it's been really healthy.
It sounds really healthy. Yeah. It sounds like this is like out of like a psychology book. Like these are things you do.
Chapter 13, family bands.
Yeah. Probably will write a book at some point. Why not?
We should.
Why not?
It's funny. I work with a family band, and some of the things you're talking about are similar. I don't know about the struggle side. Like
they do
some
our
of the
intro
things-
music. Everyone's heard.
Yeah,
them.
our intros for
that's
that band.
awesome.
So I don't know. I can't speak to how they feel about things like codependency or any of that. So I'm not saying that they have any of those things or whatever. And I know they've gone through similar things though, where they've had to figure out how to evolve and, but yeah. Anyway, I'm like recognizing a lot of the similar things. It's challenging doing things with your family.
Yes.
We're family by law and law alone.
And for the podcast listeners, Jerry and I stared at each other real hard for a second.
That's amazing.
Okay.
But yeah, so how did you? And I want to get into your solo stuff because this feels like where this conversation's going. But just really quickly, like, was there? Because we kind of like glossed over it. You guys started playing together. Was there a time before? Did you play together? You played together for a while before you met Brent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, was the family band and it was with your dad? Like, what was the genesis of that? How did you guys decide? Like, did you guys do it full time?
Okay, so we were all homeschooled.
As all family bands are.
I know.
Because otherwise you couldn't do it, right?
Yeah,
Be like, okay, it's
Yeah, I guess
3
it just
o'clock.
wouldn't work.
We got to drive to Oklahoma, guys.
Yeah, and usually you grow up in the middle of nowhere, or at least we did, and most of my homeschooled friends did as well. So then it's like your siblings become your best friends. So you're like, oh, what am I going to do with my best friends today? We're going to play music. So that's what we, and it was pretty great actually, because we would get up at 6 a.m., do all our schoolwork, be done by 10 a.m., and then we would run around outside because my parents had 45 acres out in the country.
It's a lot of acres.
Yeah, so we just run around and play games all day, hang out in the sunshine. We had a garden. Someone kept sheep on our property, so we'd play with the sheep and like
Someone?
yeah, a friend, a family friend. Kept,
A stranger.
some person, no,
Get
a
off
family
my
friend.
land. Keep bringing all your sheep here. What the hell?
So
You'll
yeah,
rue the day. If we should ever learn your name, we'll get you.
I had an incubator, and I would hatch ducklings, and they would follow me around everywhere. So I had a little flock
wow.
of ducks, and yeah, actually, when I was 15,
So you're saying you're a Disney princess. That's pretty much what I just heard.
Hey there, little goat. What's this? What's this? The goat has got some fur. Anyway,
so
I was trying to be a little violin doing tremolo, but that's impossible for the male human voice. So y'all have to imagine.
I'm glad you explained that.
Thank you. It's like, don't worry, guys. That was a violin. I'm not having a hemorrhage. Ooh, good. But did you
Yeah, sorry.
Did you all? So you're playing together because you're sisters, you're around each other, all that. Like, how did it go to like, wait, this is a thing we do all the time? Like, were your parents involved with that? Like, were they like, you girls are some of the finest talents around. We got to get out there on the circuit and show you off.
Why do you think they sound like that?
They live on 45 acres.
Listen, Coloradans don't have accents. I don't know if you could tell. But wait, no. But that's okay. So, yeah, our mom's a visual artist. Our dad, singer-songwriter. So anytime we did something creative, they were like,
all on board.
So excited about it. My siblings and I actually had a vacuum cleaner pipe band. It's a little known fact.
I don't know what any of those words mean. I don't know what. What? I'm sorry. What? You know what this is? You didn't say anything. What is that?
I was about to explain it.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
So back when my brother was in the band with us, because he's musically inclined, but he wanted to get married and have a family and have his own business, so he did. But before all that happened, he was in a vacuum cleaner pipe band with us. And what happened is, 6 kids and lots of socks, and we would suck up a sock with the vacuum cleaner and kill it, and then the parents would have to buy a new vacuum cleaner. Meanwhile, there was a vacuum cleaner extension, and that we would keep. And so anyway, we had like this closet full of vacuum cleaner extensions, and one day we all grabbed one and we started using it like a percussion instrument, and we started a little band where we would sing and play these.
Have I the video for you? I saw something.
The internet.
I saw nothing. No, this is something I experienced in real life.
Oh,
yeah, yeah. It's
what a waste of time.
You're all wow, uppity.
I don't need a fancy bitch. I get it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I saw this thing in Montana. It was a vaudeville act.
Oh, okay.
And one of the things they did in the vaudeville act is they had like these tubes. I don't think they were straight up from vacuum cleaners, but they're like kind of the same thing. And they were like hitting them and creating different pitches.
Yeah.
And it was meant to be a joke.
Yep. What are you saying about my childhood, man?
Yeah.
You're just a joke. You're never gonna make it in this town.
With you and your vacuum cleaner pipes.
Go back to the ranch.
Well, that was where that was how our first performances happened. We actually played at the local coffee shop, and we played at our older sister's graduation. And it was like, oh, we can sing together, and we got a little bit of rhythm happening. And then when we all started taking lessons on our different instruments, like I started with piano, and then I was like, this is mine, get your own. And then Eva, can you imagine 6 kids? If everybody played piano, I would never get to practice. And my sisters are tenacious too. I was like, no, get your own.
Also, 6 piano band sounds like a lot.
Yeah,
I don't know if I can listen to that. That'd be a little intense. So who plays the vacuum cleaner pipes now?
Well, Liza plays a drum kit, so she carried on the tradition. But actually, Eva started playing mandolin, and she still does. Sarah plays violin and guitar, and then Liza, the youngest, she started on harp. And during that season, our dad would arrange classical pieces and hymns and like traditionals, and we would go as a quartet play weddings. And so, yeah, people were always hiring us for weddings. So when we were teenagers, we were pros because
that's crazy.
We're like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, because we're a little blonde harpist, I'm sure. But she was like 6 playing this harp, and she ended up studying classical harp and getting this huge pedal harp and that we had to haul around because she's tiny. But then eventually she kind of turned into a rocker and ditched the harp for a drum kit. And
Nice.
Yeah.
Good move.
Yeah,
Way cooler. Harp's pretty unique, but drums are cool.
Yeah, I kind of wish she still played, just because that would be a cool sound. It'd be fun, but she rocks on the drums, and she plays hand percussion, and she started beatboxing one day, like 10 years ago, and we were like, what is this? And there are videos of her on YouTube and stuff, but yeah, she's quite good at it. So,
Wow.
yeah.
That's pretty rad.
Yeah.
So you're playing at the local coffee shop.
Well, that was a while ago.
Yeah, when we were playing at coffee shops, playing at churches, and our dad grew up in Nebraska. So he wanted to go back there and visit friends. And he was like, let's book a tour. And so that's how we started touring. We'd go stay with his family or visit his friends and play churches all along the way. People would take a love offering for us and it would pay for our gas. And so, yeah, it really was our parents. You know, they were like, let's do this. Let's tour. And I remember I got accepted into Colorado State University on one of the tours, and I was like, oh, how am I going to go? We're on tour. So I had to write them and be like, can I come in the spring? Because this fall we're on the road playing music. And I was going to study music anyway. So they were like, yeah, cool. They're like,
that's
good
cool.
on. Good on you, you know? Yeah.
Wow.
So I came in the spring. But so, yeah, we just kind of grew up doing it. And
So it's just kind of always just been what you do.
Yeah.
Always been what you know.
And
Yeah.
just
That's
picked up
crazy.
steam and
Yeah. That's
here you
awesome.
are.
Yeah.
So yeah, tell us about the solo stuff. Like, what are you doing now?
yeah, so.
The world of Hana.
Okay, so there are a few things I'm doing now. One thing is that I'm actually starting a podcast.
What?
Oh, this was a Trojan horse. You're just trying to get on ours to get an audience. I can't hear you. We don't know what the name is. Just kidding.
Don't worry, it hasn't been released yet, so I'm not going to tell the name yet. But
You're more than welcome to. I was totally joking.
no,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
pick your brain when I'm still in the
Okay,
editing
so
phase.
you're working on a name.
Yeah.
But people can follow you
Yeah.
at Hana on the Keys
Yes.
or Hana Holbrook, which I know we said before, and we'll say them again.
Yeah, we'll
but
say it like 3 or
You
4
can
times.
follow her. On,
Nice,
You should
nice.
follow her on Instagram so that when she announces the podcast, you can find it.
Yes.
What's it going to be about?
Okay, so it's going to be about
Music.
what?
So I'm guessing it's going to be about music.
Well, that'll be part of it, but it's going to be about how we're meant for good in each other's lives. I wanted to create something positive that focuses on, our circle of influence, which is the people that we come in contact with on a daily basis. Because I know some people who like to sit around and complain about where things are at in the world, and they just focus on stuff they can't touch.
Like
And
how
it-
Jerry complains about where LA is in the world.
No, I can touch LA. I've been there a billion times. I used to live right next to it, essentially. All right? I'm allowed to complain about
It's
LA.
just a sibling
It's a hot
rivalry.
pile of garbage. We're not siblings. What?
San Diego
By
and
law.
LA are siblings.
I was like, well, you kind of are.
What?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm interviewing different people, and the stories range from like a friend I interviewed the other day. She had lost her dad, and she was at a coffee shop crying, and this stranger saw her and went and bought a cookie and brought it over and said, "I don't know what's going on, but I figured this would make it better." And
Oh, wow.
just like sweet things, how like you could smile at someone and change their day. Or I had a conversation with a woman at a grocery store the other day, and she was looking for something that she couldn't find because she was in a motorized cart and she couldn't stand up and look for it. And I saw it because I'm tall, and I reached up and grabbed it, and she was like, "Thank you. I thought I was going to have to drive across town to get that." And I just happened to be there at the right time, smiled at her, and we had a little conversation, and I saved her, a couple hours probably.
Wow.
And so it's just little things like that where it's so.
This is at Walmart?
This was at Kroger the other day.
Kroger?
But
She wouldn't have like just talked to somebody who was there and asked them to.
well, she was looking through the gift cards and I was searching with her too at this point, and we just couldn't find the one she was looking for. So then she had decided they didn't have it, and she was
Gotcha.
going to go to the store across town to find it.
I see. In my head,
Yeah.
it was like there's the pancake mix. And she saw it, and you could reach and she couldn't. But I was like, just ask somebody who works there. Like,
Right.
Even I'm like, oh, maybe she's too embarrassed. But anyway,
No.
okay, I get the story now.
And probably if she had asked somebody, then they might have found it for her. But it was actually tucked back in there, and I had to climb up to find it. And she
Yeah.
thought she was going to have to drive to Brentwood to the actual store to get the gift card.
Oh my gosh.
But I found it for her,
That's
and-
awesome.
And I was just like, man. And she said, and this was part of what triggered this thought. She said, "I'm really glad you came along when you did." I was like, yeah, me too. And I could have just been looking at my grocery list or staring at my phone and totally bypassed her. Like I might not have even said hi. And so it's just, you never know how you might impact someone else's life. And it's so easy this day and age to just be sitting wherever, just staring at our phones and missing opportunity to connect with other people or, cause some kind of good in their life. And I really believe that we're meant for good in each other's lives. And so it's like when you know that, it kind of, if you accept that, it kind of gives you confidence when you walk in a room too, of like, are people gonna like me? Well, I'm meant for good, so like I'm just gonna bring some goodness into this room right now, you know. And maybe not everyone's gonna see it, but if that's how my heart's positioned, then I can make an impact, and that's something I actually have control over instead of sitting there like being bummed about the news.
This is very Smurfy of you.
Smurfy?
Smurfy?
Y'all didn't watch the Smurfs, I guess. All right, struck out there.
Wait, but I have one more story to tell you.
Yeah,
Yes.
please.
I interviewed Ray Kurzweil while I was in San Francisco last week, and he's an
Ray
inventor.
Kurzweil. Yeah, you're gonna say.
He's an inventor and a futurist, and he invented Kurzweil keyboards. And I've been playing their keyboards for 15 years. I'm one of their artists.
wow.
Yeah, so I had met him at a few different trade shows. We kept in touch, and he told a story about how, and this is going to be on the podcast, but he told a story about how his dad was in Nazi Germany in the 1930s, and they're Jewish, and he had met an American woman who gave him her card and said, if you ever need anything, call me. And so then when things started getting bad over there with Hitler, he called her and asked her if she'd sponsor him. And she said yes. So then he was able to come to America and, escape. Yeah. And that was after them meeting once. So basically
That's
stranger.
crazy. Yeah.
And the focus of this podcast this season is on the kindness of strangers. So there are just stories like this where somebody took a chance and helped a stranger out and changed their lives. And some of the folks are, like Ray Kurzweil, who have done incredible things and impacted the world. And I just really want to shine a spotlight on how much impact we are capable of having within our realm of influence, our circle of influence.
This is a really cool idea.
Thank you.
I can see this definitely want to talk about it, because I feel like after the show and whatever, because I feel like it could be done really cool.
I definitely want to pick your brain. I would love that.
But wow. So wait, the Smurfs thing doesn't even matter, other than in the Smurfs, the TV show that you guys didn't watch.
I watched the Smurfs, sure.
The Smurfs, everything was about. Did you watch it?
It's a cartoon about blue people.
Little blue people, yeah.
I mean, it was like
Everything's
a heavy.
There's like Brainy Smurf and
There's like a
Papa
really
Smurf
heavy
and
political.
so and so Smurf. I didn't
swing
sense it
to
as a child.
Smurfs. I read about it later.
I didn't know
I
that.
didn't get it as a little kid.
I mean,
It
the
just
bad guy
seemed
was
to be-
Gargamel. That guy was awesome.
You just like a bald dude. But anyway,
Gargamel?
Wait, so
Gargamel?
where are you going with this?
my point. No, there's no point other than I was just saying.
There's
We
no
almost
point.
got Gargamel.
That should be the tagline of our entire show.
Yeah.
There's really no point. We
No,
just-
but what were
I
you
was just
saying about the
oh, very
Smurfs?
Smurfy. Like that was. They said Smurf so much in the show. It was like, oh, how are you smurfing today, Smurf? Like they said Smurf like they would use it as an adjective or a verb. Like it had all these other uses other than just describing them as a people.
Wow.
They're a very communal group. And
Sure.
anyway, they would that's very Smurfy of you. It meant like good spirit or good
Oh.
good if you had like good what would you call that? School spirit or
Yeah.
hometown pride or like a great attitude. Oh, how Smurfy of you.
Got it.
Anyway, that came into my head as you were just saying this really positive thing about like being the good in the room. I was like, yeah, I haven't watched a Smurf in 20 years, but for whatever reason, like I was like, that's very Smurfy.
No, I love that. I totally get that.
Anyway,
That's great.
We
have
are
to watch the
definitely gonna have to do an episode 2 with you because I know you're on time constraints today, and we're actually really close to the time you actually have to go. Weirdly
Okay.
enough,
Okay.
there's a one thing we have to do. You know, got it.
oh, because yeah,
right.
Oh boy.
But it's kind of a weird segue right now. But I guess
should we say anything else about what she
I
said?
feel like we're just getting into the good stuff.
I know. I didn't want to
know.
say this over Instagram text because you had to, the reason we have to end earlier tonight is because you're going to a film premiere of a friend, right?
Yeah,
cool.
one of my
Super
friends
cool.
has a
That's really
film
cool.
So I
premiere.
couldn't say no, but I wanted to text, but I was like, there's no sense in texting this because all it could do is make a person feel bad and it's not going to make you feel good. But I just wanted to text you and be like, well, an hour and a half's like about when it starts getting good.
So we start
I'm
getting
like,
into the meat.
and I wanted to be like, this show's really fun and you're not going to want to leave, but which then I'm like, but maybe not. Maybe you won't like it. So I'm like, I'm just not going to say anything, but like,
That's what I'm saying. We'll have to.
we
do
have a part
sequel.
2 because
I
I'm
would
like,
love that.
I feel like we just got to like the heart of Hana. Like, we just got there. We just started. So,
Yeah.
part 2.
But you got to go in
Hana.
like 13 minutes, and there's a very important question we have to ask.
Part 1, hammered automatic hammer
Machine.
Hammer machine. Yeah, we'll have to listen back.
automation?
No.
Hammer automation
Like,
machine?
when you make things easier or better, it's it's HMM.
I can't think of.
Hammer.
Mechanical.
We'll have to listen back. We'll have to listen back. Something machine. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, and I think it would be good to have another one to talk about the musical side of things too, because I have a lot of things up in the air right now.
Yeah,
that
we
I'm
haven't even barely
doing.
touched anything music related yet.
Yeah.
We just started getting to know you.
Well, I would
Yeah.
be. I will say I was so honored when you asked me to come, and I've loved being here, and you guys are so fun. So I would, if you want to do another one, I would again
We'll
be honored.
absolutely do another
So,
one. And
yeah.
next time we'll have proper old fashioned materials.
Excellent. Count me in.
And maybe even glasses
You know,
with our
every time
logo
we've
on
hung
them.
out, it's been really random.
Yeah. Right.
I just want to recount this really quick because I think it's the funniest thing. The way we met was Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Like, I was going to go to some, like, random singles thing. I've never done that before, but I thought I'll try it out. But before I could, Roger Yeager, who's a friend of the show, messaged me and was like, hey, you should come to, what's that place called? Ellington's?
Yeah, Ellington's.
He's like, you should come to Ellington's.
diner.
Never
That
heard
was
of it.
The diner?
No, it's a
bar.
It's a
rooftop.
It's a
restaurant.
classy restaurant
It's
in the
so
Fairlane
classy.
Hotel downtown.
Okay.
I play there on Saturday nights sometimes.
Yeah.
It is so classy.
Yeah.
I loved it. He's like, you should come to this. And I'm like, I was going to go to this whole thing. Anyway, I came anyway. I didn't know what it was, but I got there and he was like talking to you. And I'm like, who is this person? Is this like a dating thing? Or like, is Roger talking to her and I'm supposed to go find a girl now? Or like, do we get a swap? And then you're talking to me and I'm like, are we on a date now? I don't know what's happening. Roger, this is so Roger. He gives no context. He's just like, hey, come to this thing right now. And you're there and you're like, I don't know what is happening.
Did you know that was a mixer that I threw?
I think I learned that by the end of the night.
I had-
You threw a mixer and you were friends with our friend Hunter.
Yes. And I told Hunter, I was like, Hunter, bring guys. Because I know so many amazing single women. I was like, I don't know very many amazing
Isn't that
single
normally
guys.
the hard part?
And I meant the women.
Isn't the hard part normally getting the women
Yeah,
there?
it is, but wow.
Like the guys are the
really?
easy
I wish
part.
I'd come earlier.
Guys are so
Yeah,
easy. They're
dude.
basic.
Oh, dude, we'll do another one.
We should, yeah,
Yeah.
because I, like, that's the thing with Roger. Roger texts me, like, the thing is starting, and he's like, you should come.
Keanu Reeves says,
And I do, but I'm just
your
like,
hair looks amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks, Keanu.
Wait, who was he talking
normally
to?
I assume it said miss, so I assume you. Normally I would ignore comments like that because they're a little trolly, but it came from Keanu Reeves. Reefs with an F. Reefs. Keanu Reeves.
Since you brought Roger up,
Yeah.
he suggested a book called Keep Your Love On, which changed my life.
Me and my wife read that for our marriage counseling before we
so
got married.
good. Danny Silk. Yeah. Thanks for that, Roger. Changed
Shout
my
out to
life.
Keep Your Love On.
Yeah, such a good book. Okay.
So,
Yeah, we own it.
So we met at this Valentine's Day thing and ended up, we all hung out. And I kind of figured out over time what it was, but I got there after like everybody had left. So it was just the three of us. And we hung out on the rooftop bar and it was a really cool place. And then I was like, as we're leaving, I was like, guys, I got invited to this like singles meetup thing. We're all singles. Like we should go to it. And we went and oh my gosh. It was at the Black Rabbit, a place I've never heard of before, but it's exactly what you think. And just the shadiest bar. And we go in and like everybody's left. It's gone. It's dead in there. Just the loudest club music of all time, so you can't talk or think. And like condoms everywhere. like there was like condoms and lube and Reese's and candy. It was just weird. Like there was
Chocolate, yeah.
they'd had a piñata. They'd had a
Yes,
piñata
and it had condoms in it.
full of condoms and candy. And so we're just like, here's your gift bag. And we're like, oh, condom,
Your gift bag.
Reese's, lube, Hershey's. And I was like, cool, I'll take some chocolates. Like,
Yes,
and we hung out there for like 10 minutes. And man, I had signed up on Eventbrite and everything. I was like, this is some nice event. No, it was terrible. But we all hung out and laughed at it for a few minutes and then we took off. And then the other time we like randomly saw each other at the Patterson house.
Yes.
And
Good
Roger and I
spot.
decided randomly, like, let's go to my studio and like play some music. And we ran into her and your friend from
Yeah.
somewhere.
My friend Bryce was visiting from Colorado, and he's a really good jazz pianist.
Yeah,
so-
he was super good. And so
Yeah.
we were like, hey, like, you guys want to come? And they're like, sure. And so Patterson's house is really close to here. So we just drove over to the studio, and the four of us all played music at the same time. Like, Roger brought his sitar, didn't he?
Yeah.
So Roger's playing sitar, Hannah was playing my whirly, Bryce was playing the piano, and I was playing drums, and then we all, like, swapped instruments. We had this. It was a very Nashville thing to do.
It was fun.
It was very Nashville.
We need to do
sounds
more
very
jams.
Nashville.
Yeah.
Those were good times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one time. Yeah, we should. It was fun. And then here we are on a podcast with one last very important question.
One very important question.
Sorry.
And then
We have a question we ask every guest.
Okay.
Okay. So if you had to choose,
and you do.
and you do. Now, the important thing about this question
Yeah,
is
don't rush into it.
Yeah,
Don't rush it.
I'm not rushing.
I know
'cause you
she's
gotta-
on
you
a
gotta
time
understand.
schedule, but you're not going to
We
rush.
got 7 minutes. We got 7
Oh, we have
minutes.
7 minutes to draw this out. Oh,
Normally the
perfect.
show goes for an hour
I'm gonna
after the
relax for a
question.
second. Hold on. I'm a little tense in my back. Let's stretch.
Here's the thing. The answer to this question has to come from here.
Okay.
No. You pointed wrong. You said it has to come from here?
No. Sorry.
Oh,
No. Ignore that shit.
Whoa!
Sorry,
For the podcast listeners, he just pointed to his head.
That never happened.
Like a fool.
Listen, here's the deal. This is a shorter episode. I got a lot of stuff to go through. All right? This is hard on me
my
as a
God.
person.
Where does it come from, Jury?
Here's the
Okay,
deal.
while you guys are figuring this out, I'm just going to see what people are saying. There's someone
So-
here saying, get to the point, crying eyes.
Who is the person?
Thank you for emojifying my emotions.
No, it's probably some either me or Ryan are saying. They always want to hear. They're always like, "Can you guys just shut the fuck up and let the guest talk, please?"
Who said that? Who said that? We're going to hunt you down.
Oh, it was Keanu Reeves. Or no, wait. Nope. Korinsky 23.
Yeah.
Okay, your
So-
emojis are spot on.
So,
So here's the deal.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
So the thing is, everybody has an answer to this question. They don't always know it till we ask it.
Okay. I'm scared.
The important thing is the answer does not come from here.
he meant does not. Yeah.
Okay.
And for the podcast listeners, he's pointing to his head.
Thank you. It must come from here.
And for the podcast listeners, he's pointing to his heart.
Okay. Got it.
And how that is reflected is instinctually,
Okay.
which means we ask the question and you answer
Instantly.
instantly.
Okay.
You cannot wait. You can't think about it.
A good answer. Oh, this is good. Now, all our guests are musical. I don't know why I never thought of it like this before. I'm like, oh, she's musical. She'll get it. Everybody is. I should have. A great, like, you would blow our minds if
Sorry,
you did a
Clapper.
30-second note answer. A 6th
30-second
note answer is impressive. An
gosh.
8th note is good. A quarter note is fine. A half note is tolerable. A whole note is a little gross.
Yeah,
We're
that
like,
means we know you thought about it.
Oh.
And I don't want what you
at a-
think.
yeah.
I want
At
what
a
you
whole
know
note, and I'm
deep
talking like
down.
120 BPM. At a whole note answer, we're kind of like, okay, it doesn't even matter what you said.
Alright.
It could have been a great answer. Who cares? Because it's not
okay.
the first thing. It's not what came from your heart.
Okay.
You process
It's still pretty
that.
fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's the deal.
Give me that quarter note.
Okay.
If you had to choose.
And you do.
And you do. What would you say is your favorite kind of turtle?
Box turtle.
Box turtle. Man, I swear that's the answer we get more than anything else.
I'll give that a half note. Now,
Do you know why?
Yes, I want to know the story. We got to know the story.
Okay.
That's the weird thing is everyone's got a turtle story.
Yes. When I was touring in Nebraska, we found this like oasis, and there were all these little tiny turtles, and they were so fast. You wouldn't expect a turtle to be so fast. And I wanted one for my menagerie.
With your ducks and your goats and someone else's sheep.
Exactly. And so, yeah, these little guys were like this big,
little tiny
the
ones.
size of maybe a 50-cent piece.
So they're just babies.
Yeah, for you podcast listeners. They were so cute. You guys, they were so cute. And I was like, I just want one of these little tiny turtles. And I snuck up on one. He was sunbathing. And I snatched him and took him back to Colorado with me.
Wow.
Yeah.
What'd you name him?
I named him Frodo.
Lord of the Rings fan? That's
Yeah,
the
I read
second
the
Lord of the
books.
Rings reference you made today.
I did grow up reading the books, and I love them more
Our
than the
dog,
movies.
My wife's and I dog, we have a corgi. Some
Oh
little
my
tiny
gosh.
short legs.
The cutest.
So we named him Gimli, the dwarf, because he's
That's
short.
awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. So yeah.
He is totes adorbs.
Hella dorbs.
Hella dwarves. I like
correct.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That
I
was
liked-
a
I
half
liked-
note
I liked
answer?
it. I like that you had a story.
That
I
was
felt that
I thought it was a little slow.
It was a half note.
We've gotten some like instant
Well,
answers.
Here's what we'll do.
We got
Later
some.
on, I'll put this to a click. And I said 120 BPM, and I will see what it was.
120. Okay.
I'm a little afraid I might have been
Yeah, little,
generous with that. half note.
120 is pretty
We'll
fast.
see. That's what I said in the beginning. That's what I said. I stick to my
Yeah,
word.
but
I'm a man of my
that's
word.
quick. That's a little quick.
I think you should try 100 BPM.
We're a pop song.
We are
Yeah,
not
but-
a pop song.
But I'm
kind
a
of song are
ballad,
we?
so
Whoa.
I got my own rhythm.
That's sassy. Like that time you were like, oh shoot, I forgot your words. It was really good. You were like, I don't need permission to.
Yeah, it was
To
real
seek
classic.
To do what feeds my soul.
Yeah. I was like, damn.
But so you have to get to a movie premiere, so we have to wrap this up. But we're gonna play a song off of your SoundCloud, I guess. Is that
Okay.
where most of your stuff's on SoundCloud?
Yes. Cheers.
So that as the outro music, which Ryan's gonna cue up right now.
What do you
But-
want us to play?
Maybe
yeah, it's
play Made to Shine since I already played the other two. Yeah. Okay. If it's on there.
But while he's doing that,
think
can
it is.
you let all the people know on all the places they can find you on the internet
Yes. You
or
can
real
find
life,
me.
I guess?
Find me on Instagram at Hannah on the Keys. Just HANNAH on
Which is
the
Hannah.
keys.
Is Hannah spelled different than Hannah?
It's spelled like Hannah.
It's just
Wait.
a preference.
Oh, it's. I think my parents just like they named me Hannah, and then their friends were like, there are a lot of Hannahs, you guys.
Hannah's more unique.
Yeah, so they changed it. And Ryan, that Made to Shine might not be on that link I sent you, so just pick something.
He'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so they can find you Hannah on the Keys
Yes.
on Instagram.
Yes, and I have a Facebook page too. If you look up Hannah on the Keys, you'll find me on all the things.
And
But
SoundCloud?
Yes, I'm on SoundCloud.
Do you have a Twitter?
I do.
Do you use
Yeah.
it?
Occasionally,
Do
rarely.
you have a TikTok?
Nope. Instagram
Wow, you gotta get
is
with
the
it.
spot.
What about a D? D? What's that one that starts with the D called? That's a thing.
What?
There's another one that starts with a D. It's a music one. There's so many.
I don't even know.
Anyways,
man.
Instagram's the place. Hannah
Yeah.
on the Keys.
Yeah. True that.
Guys, make sure to check out. You guys play anywhere coming up? Anywhere, because these people could be listening from anywhere.
Oh, you can go to shelmusic.com. That's SHEL music.com. And that's where you'll see my sisters and I and our tour schedule and our music and our music videos. And we make all our own music videos, so they're kind of fun. Check it
awesome.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, and thank you, Floppy. Floppy just posted your links in the chat for me,
Nice.
moderator.
Thanks, man.
And also, if you're listening to the podcast or watching on YouTube, you can just look in the description. We'll have the links to all the things where you can go ahead and check Hannah out. And your band, SHEL.
Yes.
But thank you for coming to hang out.
Thank you for having me.
Next week, do we have a guest scheduled for next week? I don't know.
Next week we have a very special guest.
Very special guest.
Next week we have, oh shoot, his name escapes me at this moment in time.
Wow, we should have just cut this
Brad
out.
Hill.
Oh, okay.
Brad Hill is a country music producer, and he's actually had a lot of success. He's produced Maren Morris
Sweet.
and the Brothers Osborne, and I'm sure a ton of other people that I just don't know the names of.
Right,
I've
'cause I didn't
never
prepare
met
you.
him, but he used to own this studio.
Oh, that
He
guy,
was
yeah.
the person before me.
Oh my gosh.
And he was here for a decade, and he's like, from what I found out, like he's actually really successful in country music. So excited to meet him. And next week, this is going to be awesome. Only longtime viewers of the show will get this at all. But every week, Jury opens with the same thing, which is,
Hey guys, what is going on? It's Obadiah, and today we are back with another episode of Music or Hideout, the show where we hang out with artists, musicians, and entertainers in Waylon Jennings' old basement studio.
but next week we're going to say,
Hey guys, what is going on? It's Obadiah, and today we are back with another episode of Music or Hideout, the show where we're hanging out with artists, musicians, and entertainers in Brad Hill's old studio.
and I'm hoping that he's like, wait, what? And he's like, is that your guys' sign on every week? Is my name? So it's going to be a really special episode for that one part, and I don't even care about the rest. I'm going to leave after that.
Be like, we're done. That was great. It's going to be hilarious. Anyways, guys,
Anyway.
tune in next time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time next Friday. You guys can hang out with Brad Hill. Make sure to check out Hana on all the things. Check all the links, click them, do the follows and the downloads and the subscribes or whatever it is on that platform.
Heck yeah.
And you guys are awesome. Ryan's going to play one of her songs from her SoundCloud, which you'll know what it is, and the one may or may not be on there. Thank you guys for coming and hang out, and as always, we'll see you again next time.
When love becomes the one thing you can't trust, the stars start falling down in silver trails of dust. The atmosphere above is a glimmer of what it was. The moon reflects the sun like a mirror